The two teams that defeated the Super Falcons of Nigeria, Malawi and Cameroon will be in action in the final of the 2026 Women's Africa Cup of Nations. Now for Cameroon, it is a familiar territory, but for Malawi, this is the first time they're making a debut and also reaching the final. What a fairy tale run. A team that was known as the underdogs coming into this tournament and no longer the underdogs.
We are no longer underdogs. So we are in the finals and we are ready to meet Cameroon. As much as we respect Cameroon, it's a big team as well. But this is now finals. We are also a big team.
Did you see Cameroon and Malawi playing in the final of the 2026 Women's Africa Cup of Nations?
I know everybody is surprised, but for us Cameroonians, we knew since day one, we knew our Lionesses will do that, and tomorrow they will make history. This is our cup. We are bringing back tomorrow to Yaoundé. We knew since day one. So it's not a surprise for us. Allez les Lions, allez les Lions. You see our Mikaeli, Spider-Man. It's for us. This year is our year. Nobody. Malawi can go home. They will come in 2 years. Today is for Cameroon.
So who will you be rooting for? Who do you think is going to win this trophy?
Well, I want to wear a hat of Kosafa because I'm from the southern region, but also I want to wear a hat of an African football journalist. To be honest, Cameroon took it with an opportunity that, yes, they didn't qualify, but when they came here, they were fearless. They beat the two finalists from last year, Nigeria and Morocco, and deservedly in the finals. Malawi have been rewriting history after history from the first game when they beat Nigeria all the way until their last game against Algeria. So it's evenly poised, and I think that may the best team win, but obviously the beauty of the game is that whoever wins, they'll add to the three nations that have already won.
Honestly, I never saw that coming, honestly, but we've seen what they've shown us on the field. They deserve to be in the final. Cameroon having reached in the final before couples of time, losing the final. I guess they're looking forward now to write a statement to end the curse, maybe to have a hand on the WAFCON trophy as well. For Malawi, they're playing under no pressure. They're looking forward to enjoy the game tomorrow. They've already written history. They've already shown the world who are the sleeping giants. So it will be a tense match for Cameroon, but I'm looking forward to see Cameroon finishing the game first half, because if they're waiting for extra time against Chawinga sisters, they're looking forward as well to make history for the nation. So tomorrow will be a tense match. I can't wait to see the game ending at 90 because I don't want to see penalties.
On Sunday night, the battle will happen here at the Mole Hassan Stadium in Rabat. Cecilia Mogbe for Channels Television.
That's Sissy reaching us from Morocco, and we'll probably will get back to her, and then she will be part of the show, giving us an update, because today is the final, the Cinderella final, the unscripted final, the final that nobody saw coming, and a refreshing final. I think it's a breath of fresh air. I'm thinking about the kind of more captivating, caption, to give to this final in Morocco for our African Amazons, the Cameroonians, the indomitable lionesses, and then, wow, the Malawians. What a debut. If they go all the way, it will be a debut of all debut. I'll tell you this. It will be a debut of all debut. Starting the first time of qualifying for WAFCON, their first game, they took the defending champions, the 10-time winners, to the cleaners, clean. And we thought it was just, some of those things, maybe just a one-day wonder. It didn't, it wasn't. They went all the way. They went all the way to beat Nigeria, beat South Africa. Waiting there now. These ladies are good. And then to think that the Cameroonians did beat Nigeria and Morocco, the two finalists of the last edition, to enter there, it's something to behold. There's something about Morocco before I bring in my guys. The Atlas Lions, they met the the Teranga Lions, lion versus lions. And in that dying minute, they got that penalty, remember? And Senegal walking up the pitch and all the stories behind it. Came back, and then, somebody wants to try Panenka, and it didn't work out. They went on to lose that final. And in the semi-finals, I guess, we now come to the WAFCON. That was the AFCON. We now come to the WAFCON, the current WAFCON. And here they were again. 87th minute or so, they got that penalty, scored that, and then it was all over. They took it, they lost it, and then they lost 3-1 in the penalty shootout. They lost 3-1, and here again in the fought in the places to place third, among the 4 teams that were representing Africa against Algeria. Another team that for the first time were getting this far, and then they got another 9-minute penalty. They played it, they lost it, and they lost the game. Thunder striking thrice. People say thunder did not strike twice. This one for Morocco, it is 3 times. I don't know. When next somebody they give them a penalty at 9 minutes, let us say, look, we don't know what to take it. I'm Ken Ochonogo. This is Channel Sport on Sunday. And today is the WAFCON final. You all know that. 4 teams already qualified to represent Africa. The 2 teams that played yesterday for the third place in Algeria and Morocco. And today, between the Cameroonians and the Malawians, we shall know the new champions who will succeed Nigeria. So, every other thing we're doing today hovers around there. Cincinnati, Novak Djokovic just got something by Tirante and then say, pry. I don't know what's happening to my Djokovic, but he is still there hanging on and hoping that number 25 will come. We do hope so. The under-19 basketball team for Nigeria has just qualified for the FIBA under-19 World Cup. That is great news. So we're looking at how those guys will become the future Tigers, the future Tigers, that we're going to have. And then the new season is also kicking off all over. The La Liga has started. Today there will be the ceremonial Charity Shield kickoff between Manchester City and then who are the FA Cup champions, and Arsenal, who are the league champions. So basically, it kicks off today, and then by next week, all actions. But a lot of Nigerian players have been scoring all over in Europe, pushing those goals in there, telling that yes, even if this is our year, we didn't go to the World Cup, we're not going to the Female World Cup. And we enjoyed watching from those actions in Canada, Mexico, and United States of America. So basically, probably in 2027 also, we shall enjoy what is going to happen in Brazil. So they've not won it. I don't think they're going to win it anyway. But probably at home, that's what we said about the Brazilians never ever won the Olympic Games until they hosted in 2014. And that, before you know what was happening, Neymar led them to picking that. When Ajala is in the house, Tio is also in the house. But let me start with Okpe. People are calling for a lot of, say, look, we don't care if FIFA ban us. This FA board, the pains they've inflicted on the football fans is enough for us to say, please, no mass. But then, as it is, they have 37 a constituency of other 40-something votes. They have 30-something in their pocket, which are the FAs. They know that one is a sure banker. The when you get them, they vote en bloc, just like Africa with the 54 membership in FIFA, telling the world that if you want Infantino out, let us meet in March, the Ides of March. We shall let us go and vote him out. The same question asking him to resign. But then the FA, 27th of September is the key day. Should the government interfere and then incur the wrath of this same FIFA that has thinking of how to survive? Or this is the right time that FIFA have not found their bearing for us to strike and do whatever it is possible to salvage, according to them, our football.
Thanks, Ken, for having me. And most unfortunately, in this part of the world, we don't respect norms and conventions and customs and traditions. Even things that are properly documented, we still find a way of circumventing and arguing about it. And that was why something that was as harmless as conceding defeat when President Goodluck Jonathan considered to the General Muhammadu Buhari, it became something unusual in this part of the world, which was supposed to be the most honorable thing. And not forgetting that we started with the parliamentary system of government.
Yeah.
And
how I wish you could go back to parliamentary system of government.
no, it won't work.
Why?
It won't work because
Why?
and that's why I'm taking
Okay, let me why?
From nowhere, something happened. Akintola Taku. Akintola refused to resign after the governor advised him to resign. After the vote of no confidence was passed. So we don't respect tradition. And the guys in post science will tell you the immediate and remote causes of something. And from there, we had the coup, counter coup, the civil war, and here we are today. So all things being equal, all things being equal, if people were honorable, do you understand? And that is why the lower chamber, once you get elected, they call you honorable, this distinguished honorable. So all your exams, you have failed. We are not talking about football development with nothing to point to. And the elite sports, elite competition, we all glamorize. You failed in all. So what else are you waiting for? So you should not even be advised. I think the most honorable thing will have been, look, we tried our best, let other people take us further. And you can come back at a later date. But still going for a second term, I think is the most dishonorable thing to do. And if I was to be in the parliament, if the budget comes, I don't think, because, you know, for even corporate organization, you need a corporate profile. And if these are the same set of people that will manage this fund, I don't think we'll approve that budget.
Oh, if these are the people, if the mismanagers are the people you want to manage, then we are not going to approve. We are going to hold our money until we have competence. The Catalan.
Okay.
That's Theophilus Agbolan.
If an administration is telling you to renew their mandates,
yes,
the first thing you need to do is to measure what they had done before against what was given to them to do. And the onus is on them to now prove why we should come back and put them back in place, in that same position. Like Okpe has said, we failed to qualify for every single major tournament. Ken. And it's
under 20, they don't. Burkina Faso hit us at Baku twice.
And we begin to ask ourselves this question: what exactly is going on? You know, we say these things. We say head will roll, head should roll, this and that. Like if you come before me, okay, yes, like Okpe said, rightly, the budget. Well, look, against what? We saw what you did the last time. Why should we release this one for you again? Ken, Nigeria, this is an existential crisis we are facing in Nigerian football right now. And the way we manage it now will determine how it will be moving forward. We cannot keep relying on past glory, because that is what it is. Since 1991, the Super Falcons have never failed to qualify.
Since inception?
Since inception of the World Cup, they have never failed to qualify for the World Cup. Okay. See, we might want to blame the coaches. We might want to say the players. We might say, oh, maybe the FA chairman, and maybe even the NSC. But your job as an administrator is to ensure that the ecosystem is running effectively.
But let me ask you guys this: if they say, look, though we have not qualified, because people are talking about tournament and development, though we have not qualified, but we have seen that they are in the league, they've stabilized the league. The league starts when they say they want to start. We have aligned with the calendar. We are paying referees and officials. We are not. I finished. Let me finish now. Let me finish. We are paying. We don't have issues with bonuses. You understand? We don't have issues with bonuses. There used to be a crisis. We have settled that, and we are trying to put the house in order. For the first time, we saw Rivers United qualifying for the group stage of in the continent, out of the group enter the knockout stage. That there has been a gradual improvement in what we are doing. We are building the foundation. You understand that? Then this is what we are trying to say. That can you give us the time to consolidate? Is there anything wrong with that?
Ken, consolidation on what? We played the last President Federations Cup final. How many people were aware? This is their own prime competition, not a third-party competition.
Yes.
Now, you are talking about we are stabilizing the league, Ken, Ken,
no, I mentioned,
yes.
Referees,
I mentioned referees.
payments,
I mentioned alignment of the league. I mean, now like don't talk about a bridge league now. It's starting now. You know when it's going to start, when it's going to finish. We're not talking about the remunerations now. Formerly, you have the clubs to take care of that. Now the league is taking care of it and stuff like that. Is that not? You know, if it is not, if it, I don't know whether it is a foundation, a shaky foundation, or a solid foundation, but it's a kind of a foundation that is somewhere. Are you saying there is none?
Ken, it's like you know, we have this quota system, federal character, where you take exams and most especially the common entrance to unity schools. And I think it was 2000 and maybe 2020, like 9, 10 years ago, we have states that are cut off for 2 over whatever they are cut off. I think that's whether boys 3, ladies 4 over. I can't remember if it was over 200 or 400. So if you have, and now because your cutoff was lowered and you scored 2 over 200 and you were given admission and you now say yes, you made improvement. Ken, it's because we've lowered the standard, and that is why today, how many stadiums can hold cap matches? So these are the things we are saying. So this administration is the offshoot of the previous administration. So it's not that it just came out from nowhere. So they've been part of the bilateral failure up to this moment.
All right, okay. I've been told that, you know, the creamy one, the creamiest one, she's now online. Can we join Cecilia? Where is she? Hello, Cici. Are you there? All right, okay. Okay, we're waiting for Cecilia to join us. I was told before that she was ready. But, you know, maybe women always go to powder and have the house. Sorry, don't say I'm being sexist.
Okay, okay.
If someone attack me, I also go to the powder room. I take a leg and I powder the keyboard. Are you listen, no, but seriously, like I said, we all have at a point we're saying, look, let us separate tournaments, let us with development. Mm-hmm. So we're looking at the indices of football development in Nigeria, and we are saying, you know, capacity building. They've been training coaches, they've been training referees, they've been organizing, you know, symposium, they've been organizing clinics and all those things in those areas. Of course, like you said, probably they are not making it too much known. We are coming out to speak for themselves. This administration is not as loud as the other one, but I do see some certain areas where Wukosokiyas, they have, like you said, maybe the standard is not the cutoff is down, that if we are saying this is the benchmark, so we have lowered it in such a way that probably that is why we are saying, if somebody pays salary, say president saying they pay salary, which is supposed to be that, you know, which is the norm anywhere in the world. In fact, all over the world, if you cannot pay your salary for 1 month or 2 months, they say you are solvent, you are incapable, you cannot employ somebody to do that. All right, I think Cecilia is ready. Let's see that. Let's go meet Cici. Hello, Cici. How are you?
Good afternoon, everyone in the studio.
We are not seeing you. Why are we not seeing Cici? I mean, is she joining us on audio? All right. We hear you.
I should be asking them in the studio because I have joined.
All right. Cici has joined. Okay, so it's network, but let's take her voice. Her voice is still as sweet as the face.
I can actually hear you, so I can actually hear you, so
and we can hear you too. All right, let's go. Today is the final, but before getting to the finals, let's charity. They say begins at home. I'm not talking about the charity bus stop at Oshodi, but the charity that we have here. How is how is the Falcons camp? How has it happened this way this time around? And then, you know, what has it been like, you being part of this experience?
I think it's actually hard to describe because, should I say, this is one of my worst experiences covering the Women's Africa Cup of Nations. Because for the Super Falcons, it could have gone a better way, but somehow, you know, we've overflogged issues of preparations even before now. You know, most times we just go for tournaments thinking we as Super Falcons go there, beat everybody. But it just didn't happen because with the FIFA Forward program, with the FIFA grants, all countries that weren't even playing football before, they decide to start playing football. Not just playing football, they are investing. Malawi is a typical example. In the last edition, the one that was hosted last year was supposed to be in 2024. Malawi didn't even have the financial capability to actually, enter the qualification process. This is the first time they enter to qualify for WAFCON. They qualified and they are in the final. And what is the dream? When I spoke with the coach, he told me about he has been preparing this team for 4 years. And we asked him question at the presser yesterday, asking him, how were you able to play about 12 international friendlies without having your key players on ground? He said that the bulk of the under 20 players, the ones who won the COSAFA region in 2023, the under 17, the under 20, was able to pick players from there. And then the few ones that the Tabita sisters, the Chawinga sisters, Tabita, Faith, and the others could join them. That was the later part of when the WAFCON was almost here. So what it means is that they decided to build because they had a target. We also didn't have our target is always, let's go win trophy. We do not build. I remember what Randy Wardrum did, when he was employed. I think it was in 2021. He went to 2022 Nations Cup. He had some players he could call upon. They had the US Invitational, they had the Turkey Invitational, they even went to Canada to play some friendlies. He was able to get players out there. I mean, the likes of Alozie, Koronko that we're all talking about today, Jennifer Echegine, came from that when we didn't even have opportunity to pick the ones here to travel over there. He picked players from the US. That's how these players got into the senior national team. Now, how do you pick new players into a team when you don't have time for camp, when you don't have enough friendlies to even test these players? So the point we're trying to make is every time we go to the Women's Africa Cup of Nations, you always have 1 or 2 or 3 new players infused into the team. Somehow the hunger doesn't go away. But you use the same set of players, the one who won last year. We couldn't infuse new players into them. We just had a couple of 2 new ones. Not new, the ones who were at the World Cup in 2023, bringing them down here. And then you ask the coach, how did these all go wrong? And it will tell you that they didn't have enough preparations. You could have had time to test more players. Could have had time to be able to juggle who will play at the left back or the right back and have more options. But he didn't have more options. So when you're playing one player for all 3 games and she's getting tired and your opponent's taking advantage of that, he has already seen the loopholes. How do you plug it in? So the Super Falcons issue wasn't just about the players not having the best of the tournament. I think administratively, we could have done better in preparing the players for this tournament.
Okay, Tio and Boy, they are here. You have any question for Sisi?
Yeah, no, he's not a member of the NFF.
She's not a member of the NFF. Exactly. Why do you mean she's not? Are you not sure she's not a back? She's not a backroom member of NFF.
No, she has been the media officer.
She has been the media officer.
With your
she's still connected to the system.
Before the postponed tournament,
yes,
Rashida Babalede did complain about lack of preparation.
Yes.
And I think that still followed us to this one. So, Sisi, what is the way forward?
Yeah, I think the way forward is actually simple. Let's use the templates we've used before. Let's have camps. Let's prepare more. Let's play more friendlies. Let's not take tournaments for granted. It's as if we are just waiting to have, the administrators or rather those in charge of football to just travel, get the ESTA codes, and that's it. Because if we really plan well, there is no way. See, the crop of players that we have. I mean, just take a look at our players and take a look at other teams. They don't have as much players as we have. The difference is they were more prepared, really. The best prepared team. I mean, this is the first time at WAFCON that you're having the best prepared teams actually getting into the final. I mean, take a look at Cameroon. The Cameroonian coach was telling us that they have close to 13 camps in trying to get players back into the team. The team that played the Super Falcons in 2016, only 2 players are still in this squad. Yes, the others have left, but she was able to build. This is the first time Cameroon is reaching the final, of the African Women's Cup of Nations. The first time, since when? Since 2016. That's like 10 years now. They decided to go back and build. What should you do better? But we haven't done that. I just hope that with this setback that we've suffered, we can actually do that. But can we do it? That's the biggest question, really, because We've never been here before in terms of the Super Falcons. Yes, the Super Eagles have experienced this, but did they even review? They didn't. Did they set up a panel? They didn't. Now, the NFF has set up a fact-finding committee. I don't know the facts they are finding. The fact is actually there right before you. Really, because I don't know why you set up a committee for that. I don't think that's the way forward, really. You've setting up a fact-finding committee where you have Ambassador Fanny Amo as the MON. Mr. Ken, maybe you need to call him and talk to him. What do they want to really find out?
I don't know.
I really don't know what they want to find out.
I think I'll call him. Yes.
Also, remember that.
Yes, we have
also remember that she was the one who scored against Cameroon 2016 when he won that WAFCON. She was there at the World Cup. After that, she retired. I mean, the same issue she was complaining about is what we are still facing. So, what facts are you finding out? If you take a look at the NFF, the Super Falcons bench, like the only technical people you see there, like there are about three. The Anche Jene, the goalkeeper trainer, and of course the head coach, Justin Madugu. There's so many people on that bench. Like, I don't even know what they're doing. Like, you have like a lot of, you bringing in team manager, you have a team secretary, you have a kids managers, maybe two, I don't know, but there's so many. I'm like, instead of you, because before the WAFCON started, they set up a welfare committee for what? Then you brought in a team management or something like that. I'm trying to remember the position of the person. I'm not trying to chide anybody here, but I feel that the critical thing we should be looking at is having a balanced technical bench. Now, this is Ellis, the coach of South Africa was talking about how she was able to found out Super Falcons. I mean, if you listen to our interview, okay, you'll be wondering that, didn't we have a technical setup? You have to put everything at the doorstep of Coach Madugu, because she talked about how his team had studied the Super Falcons, how he understands that the fullback always full open, they always go forward and there is no cover up. And then when you look at the spaces, you're going to plug in there. That the only surprise she got was when Francisca Odega started. And then she mentioned that Francisca Odega actually gave them lots of problems in that wing. But when she was out and assistant was taken out, then they had opportunity. They took advantage of that. The back was open, and of course they were able to, the spaces that was left, they were able to, score through them. That was what she said. Because while she had people who were watching, she had I don't even know if we have a video analyst. I heard that we do, but I'm like, what is their job? Like, for instance, if you get maybe a technical advisor to Coach Madugu, and then he's not the one doing all the job. Because if you go to their training, I just see three people. I see Anche Jene, I see the fitness coach, the goalkeeper trainer, and of course himself. So you don't have players being split into different spaces. Maybe when you have a coach who is in charge of the strikers, putting them through the spaces. You have a coach who is in charge of the midfielders, putting them into spaces. I have seen with other teams. Like, I've seen that with other teams. I haven't really seen that with the Super Falcons. Maybe because we don't watch the full training. But then, if there are going to be other people, you could see them. But you have lots and lots of people at the training session sitting on the bench. Like, what are they all doing when it's only three that you can see on the field with the players? So maybe what we can do better is
just calm down.
Try to get technical people to back up Coach Madugu, and then, for crying out loud, preparations cannot be underrated, because the Olympics is actually coming. It's around the corner. It's in October. Olympics qualifiers is starting soon. And this is August, and we are setting up a pathfinding mission. What do you do between now and September? Because October is right here. Are you going to continue with the coaching crew? You haven't said anything. What are the plans for these players? Because they've all gone back to their various clubs now. What do you want to do before that time? There is no time. So you now end up maybe sending them messages 2 weeks to it for them to come, and expect them to come together and play the best of football on the field of play.
Okay, Cecilia, I think you've already set the tone for probably the Faniamun fact-finding committee. Like you said, what are you looking for? The two that they find go to when Rashida Ajibade came out and said, look, we are not preparing. Everybody said, oh, you are the captain, you would have called them, why are you coming out? Now there she is. You're talking about Desire Baranaze. When she spoke that are talking about bonuses, they kicked her out of the team. You understand? Yeah. So baby, we know all these things. You see, the more things change, the more they remain the same. And you keep on doing the same thing, and you expect a different result. We know what the problems are, and that is just it. So basically, Leopard, they change that sport at which age? let's talk. Let's the finals. So, but before we talk the finals, briefly for a minute or two, Morocco. What happens to those ladies again? Losing the semi-finals, losing at home, getting those penalties, couldn't convert them. They don't have penalty coaches. Nobody in the teacher had to, look for how to put
we actually put the question to the coach. He said yes, they do practice penalties. Yeah. I'm like, how was it practiced? I think it's actually pressure because anytime the Moroccans are playing, you need to see the stadium. The first time we didn't have a full stadium was actually this third place match. Most didn't want to come to the stadium. Now Morocco, they've missed 10 penalties. Against Cameroon, we saw that. Against Algeria, we saw it. Against Senegal, 2 times they played penalty when the goalkeeper moved before the ball. They played it again. They couldn't score.
Yes.
They gave them a last-minute penalty against Cameroon before they went into the main penalties. They missed that. Against this Algeria, could have scored a penalty that would take them 2-1 to win it. They couldn't score that. So I'm wondering, what is it? I think it's actually the pressure of playing at home.
At home.
There's so much pressure on the girls to perform. Because for Jorge Vidal, he's a world-class coach. He won the World Cup with Spain in 2023. So immediately he left the Spanish job. That was when he was hired. So it's not as if he's new to the team. He has been with the team. Morocco played 9 international friendlies before this WAFCON. So they've got the time, they've got the facilities. Someone was telling me that, we were looking through Mohamed V Academy saying, this is beautiful. And I'm like, that's not the only one. They have 3 of such across the country. We open our mouth. They've got everything they needed. So we're thinking that maybe when Morocco leave their country to play the next WAFCON, we don't even know who is hosting because as usual, CAF will keep mute until maybe how many months before he announced the host of the tournament.
Yeah.
So we don't know when the next one is hosting, but I know Morocco will not be hosting. They've said they won't. Their body language has showed that they will not be hosting.
No, they said no. They came out with a statement. Sissy, they actually came out with a statement that they are no longer hosting any tournament in Africa. They are no longer doing that again.
Okay, so because they will be hosting the World Cup, so they need to save their money and time and everything for the World Cup. They will be co-hosting with Spain and Portugal in 2030. So maybe Morocco, maybe when they play outside the country, maybe they can win WAFCON because you can't go from runner-up twice to finishing 4th. And take a look at the countries that have actually taken them out. Yes, Cameroon were prepared. Algerians have been preparing. I mean, they played. I lost count of the friendlies that they played, the warm-up games they played, how they were, dealing with themselves coming into this tournament. So they were at the last WAFCON. They were in Nigeria's group. We couldn't score against them. They came out all defensive. And then they came to this tournament. They had to learn how to score better. And of course, that is what have actually helped them in this tournament. So for Morocco, I think it's just the pressure of, being at home.
Before their fans.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I think it's because anytime,
you watch the Cameroonians, you felt the Malawians. Okay, you felt both the Malawians and the Cameroonians.
And the Cameroonians,
the first to beat us were the Malawians. The other one to send us out is the Cameroonians. So we have seen them, we have felt them. I hope we see them no more. But while Africa wants to see them today, what should we be expecting from this encounter between the Malawians and the Cameroonians? Physical sides, with technically gifted, very beautiful goalkeepers, agile, timing, everything of the Cameroonian goalkeeper. I mean, that she can even keep for a meal team. So what should we be expecting in this final today?
She said she's playing in the striking position before, so she understands what it means.
Okay.
But I think the greatest undoing would be the Malawian goalkeeper. She's not so good. But the Cameroonian goalkeeper, yes, she is. When you say she is perfect, Michaela, she is very perfect. Well, the problem now the Malawians is that they can concede goals. They've conceded about 7 or 8 goals. They've scored 12. Yes, they've scored more. They've conceded less. But then you take a look at the Cameroonians. Cameroonians have conceded just 3 goals, scoring how many? 5. So they are not a high-scoring side, but they can defend well. Mass defense, mass attack, that's what's going to get them the goal. But the Malawians, the Chawinga sister, Tewon, for instance, the highest goal scorer with 5 goals. Tabitha, she's got 4 goals. They have a Rose, I think the main midfielder, Rose, she's missing. She got a card. So the nucleus of their midfield, she's out. Maybe that's where they will have problems. Because without Rose being in that middle, maybe Faith can try what she can. But I think the Malawians, for me, with their striking power, obviously they will score. But can the Cameroonians actually score? Because that's what they find very difficult to do in this tournament. They've scored the fewest numbers of goals in this tournament. And of course, they're very tight at the back because of their goalkeeper. So can the goalkeeper actually really, hold on to 10-1 from scoring, prevent her from scoring? Somehow they know how to split defense open, and then the one-on-one, once they come, it can be anybody's game, really. But I think it's going to end up in 90 minutes, because when you have Malawians who can actually score goals, we're going to get goals from this. If the Cameroonians can defend the 90 minutes, I'm not sure they can hold on to the Tabita sisters, the Chawinga sisters, really. It's going to be a very, very interesting game, because I'm looking forward to it. Can you just imagine a team making their debut at the tournament, getting to the final? Cameroon haven't been here in 10 years. Yeah. And of course, and winning, because almost everyone right here are rooting for the Malawians, because Cameroonians, their journalists are so annoying, like they disturb the Tribune, like telling everyone they're around. Imagine their national TV in Cameroon brought about 15 journalists, to come to. I'm not talking about the freelancers, the videographers, the ones that are the multimedia journalists. I'm talking about the main journalists. The TV station brought about 15 of them to come to Morocco to support the girls. So that alone, the pressure alone from those guys. So somehow, most people are rooting for Malawi to just complete their fairy tale dream, and the support from Nigerians, from Moroccans, will obviously be on the side of the Malawians. I also hope and pray that the fans will come to the stadium to come watch, the two games today, because it's a game that you definitely want to enjoy.
All right. Thank you so much, Sisi. When you come back to Nigeria, you'll be right here in the studio. And so that it will just be you reporting from Morocco, but you'll be here so Nigerians will listen to you. Thank you so much, Sisi. Thank you so much.
Nice having you guys. Nice joining you guys today.
Yeah. Okay. Mazi Okorafo is on the line. Let's take Mazi before we go on the show. Oh, Mazi. Let's take Mazi. Hello, Mazi.
Yeah. Good afternoon, Mr. Ken. Good afternoon. Good afternoon, my brother Ken.
Yeah.
Mr. Ken, you see, what I've discovered this batch that just finished Nigerian the Falcons. You see, I was expecting Nigerian technical people that refer to these girls and the coach. Let's go back to the causes, not facing the symptoms. Now, let's look at it. During the FIFA World Cup, what happened? People like Mbappe, Messi, Ronaldo, as you saw how the opponents, how they caged them, because they have been excelling. All the players, the whole world knows them very well. This is exactly what happens to Nigerian players. I was expecting our coach. When you saw something like that, you go a leave from there and change your structure. Drop some of these people now. The people you have brought in there, you feature them. Because all these players nobody wants to go back and just do their journey, just come and go. Because they know Nigeria have been winning it. So they know all those tactics, they know all those major players in the game, in the team. So that is why you see that you saw how they caged all of them. Because that was it, Nigeria didn't perform. But it's very basic, because I was expecting our coach to have what we call number 6 or number 10 knowledge to move people the technical to lose. So what happens to people will also be playing back here. So honestly, now, like what the person that was come from Morocco, our reporters, there is need for Nigerians to groom new people. Age is coming. Even nobody says that it's permanently, because when you are growing, the age is coming. Some of these bands and athletes and in their body now, everything will go because so that's why I will advise the coach, go back home and bring all those. There are a lot of talents we have in this country. Bring them in, groom them now, so that we listen them together with them. And Nigeria, I don't know what they are doing with their money. They have. I don't know what the glass has.
Okay.
All the money that we collected, they cannot have friendly matches. What are they doing? It's very, very shameful thing that Nigeria. Boys,
very
no
shameful.
Yes,
very
no
shameful.
Old women, no show. Honestly, I thought they should go back to the basics. Good afternoon. Mazu Krabbe from Cameroon.
All right. Okay, we want to take a short break. Before we take that short break, let me just ask Catalan. Catalan, La Liga is up. What are we expecting? We saw the opening show.
Yes, Getafe, who were not considering goals last season, resumed the season considering 3 goals in their game yesterday. Obviously, the big wigs have not played yet, Barca, Atletico, and of course Real Madrid. But we expect fireworks this season. Jose Mourinho is back in the league. Our best guy is back in the La Liga.
Atletico, Real Madrid.
What's it? Barca?
See the arrangement, Barca, Atletico, Real Madrid.
Okay.
No, there's Barcelona, Catalonia, they have 2 other teams in the capital. What
are you saying is he called them according to how he but that is that not how
no.
We don't know what we are doing.
No, Ken,
we know what we are doing.
Let me end with this. Let me end with this.
Yes.
Domestically.
Yes.
Yes. Barcelona have 11 more titles than Real Madrid.
Okay.
So we cannot come out and say they're a bigger club than Barcelona in Spain. And what are we talking about? But what do I know?
What does he know? He's the Catalan.
15 remains the greatest.
In Europe, not in the country.
Okay, one is outside.
Inside. Because they don't meet all the time on the continent. Yes. But they always meet at home. Okay, and whenever they meet at home.
Okay, we are taking a short break. Very short break. When we come back, I think Jimmy will join us. Stay with us. Okay, you're welcome back. The Catalan just told you that when they meet at home, that it is dominance. That Madrid are the champions of Europe. They are the kings in Europe, while Barcelona are the kings of Barcelona. I don't know. Any day you want to take it. Also, the MPFL, remember, upper week we start. It will be kicking off in Ibadan there. I know it will be Shooting Stars taking that. The iconic team, one of the tripods, Rangers, Shooting, Bender Insurance. Of course, before then, there was the ones that come and go, superstores. I don't know where they are now. It used to be a great team. Raka Rovers, a lot of, but this is the time for us to, why we are also looking about, what is happening in Europe and other places. If we do not build here, we'll just see the Malawians, look at what they are doing. It is home built. You look at the Moroccans, it is home built. You must put your house in order. And then you also give. You don't expect, Rangers, I think, Kun Khalifat, I've just seen a lot of things that they are doing now. Probably they are getting involved. Signing this, getting endorsements, getting everything you want to think of. They are getting it. So basically, and then they are bringing it out for the world to say, look, we have a partnership with this team. We now have a sponsorship with these things. We have this airline supporting us. We have this motor supporting us, and that is the thing. That is where to go. So it's now when there is that security, that safety within the confines of the stadium that you can go and watch and your team will lose and nobody will harass the other team. Basically, we will be there. It is a form of entertainment, and that you draw them back from those who have gone to Nollywood, from those who have followed the music scene, those who go to the concerts. Then they come back. They come to football. Bring in the female. Whether you like it or not, they have a flavor that puts it there. Bring them back. I mean that the masculine too. Of course, it is the football is a masculine game, but now we're talking about WAFCON. They are not masculine. They are feminine. Jimmy Ogolano is in the house. Jimmy, how are you?
Good to be here.
Yeah.
Not really a time to smile so much, especially when you consider what has happened in the past 1 or 2 weeks. We've not had, imperious performances from our ladies. Unfortunately, it's not really about the Falcons, not about the coach, but about the system, the sort of sports ecosystem that we do run, that the NFF have not really covered themselves in glory. We've always asked this question, what philosophy do we run by? And I think people most times go with football philosophy, but it's just one part of it.
I go with winning philosophy.
Yeah, I understand how you mean, but it's one part of it to say what exactly is the football philosophy. But we are talking about institutional philosophy.
Can you break it down? What are the components of football institutional philosophy?
So, which people do we really want to be as a sporting nation? If you are a sporting nation, you say you are, then what sort of people are you? What sort of football do you want to play? How do you administer the game? How do you want your game to be played? It has to be total. It has to encompass beyond the administrative, your recruitments, the sort of coach you hire, the sort of football you play, the sort of identity that the way you execute The
It's
way
not the
you
same thing
ensure
about the club licenses that are taken up to that particular level at the
the
national
club-
level. That,
yes, at the club level.
At the national, at the club level, then you move those things at the national level.
But you
Is anything different from that?
You have to allow it trickle from up to down. It's actually based on that philosophy that the club license should be down.
Is it bottom up or top down?
Up. Policy comes from the top.
Policy comes from the top.
It's from up to down.
No,
because if you do not have a policy that supports the philosophy, you can't have those at the lower rung of the ladder understand what you're trying to achieve.
So you are saying, okay, the board articulate, come out with a policy,
absolutely,
and then put it there, and then whatever it is.
Absolutely.
But in doing that policy, do they get any input?
The stakeholders.
That is where I'm going. When you have the 36 state chairman and the FCT making 37 on the board. So now these are people that need to bring, and that's why I said it will be from bottom up, because you congregate their idea
and they articulate it.
So that becomes the sovereign policy.
But once I understand what you mean, you are talking about the execution of that policy. I'm talking about
he says a formulation of the policy. You collect. It's like we're talking about that. If synthesizing before that, is why I say when you want to come up with something, you can gather as many ideas as possible. Then you now start sifting them and whatever. So you collect from this guy, collect from that. Then it is your duty at the top. Based on what you guys have. This is what we are doing.
So
working on the
Ken, whether up to down, down to up, the most important thing is to have that understanding that it is required for us to have a thriving sports ecosystem.
Okay. All right, the lines are still open, and then like we said, the lines are still open. We're talking about which way to go. We have Mazukora for talking about most times we say, okay, we have talents here. Yes, we do have talents here, but those budding talents, unless that is why FIFA has under 15, most countries have under 12. I would read about Hurricane, and I said Hurricane was in Arsenal. From age 4, and by the time he was 11, they dropped him. Yeah. They dropped him because they felt he was too small. They felt because he was not the physicality, in maturation, he wasn't having all those things. You understand? And then he left, and then before he moved into Tottenham. Tottenham took him out, and then early release and all those tough things happening. So the rate at which some players, some mature early, some are late bloomers and stuff like that. So basically, they have identified at that point that at age 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, we're not talking about watching a talent, watching his growth, his trajectory and stuff like that. But here, before you get to whatever level, ma'am, you are exported. How many English talents at age 18 has left the country? I can tell you that you know that at 18, most of our players are already playing.
Absolutely, the best from the
All right, Coach Raji is joining us from Kogi. Hello, Raji.
Good afternoon, Ken.
Good afternoon, Coach Raji. How are you?
Good afternoon, Ken.
Good afternoon. Go on, Coach Raji.
Okay. We should not be surprised about what is happening to our football. The problem we are facing now is leadership. The leadership of NFF has failed the nation, and that is a very big sign. Not only to our football, Nigeria is fast becoming a failed state. A failed state because at every level, the leadership is becoming bad. Every aspect of our national issue, every leader is failing this nation. So what is happening to our football is a sign to show Nigerians that Nigeria is becoming a failed state.
So Raji, what do we do? What do we do concerning our football? That is the issue. The Super Eagles not qualifying, Falcons not Super Falcons not qualifying. Under 20 here we are not qualifying, and then. How do they spot them? After the World Cup here, we see a lot of players moving because people say, we know how much we benefited from France 98 because of the performances of our players, USA 94. Right now, it is only their performance at their club level that people are going to see. The place they showcase, it is not there. What do we do? Briefly, 90 seconds.
We should not be putting people that don't know anything at the helm of affairs. We should not be putting politicians at the head of affairs in all aspects of our national development. Those that know football, as president of Nigeria Football Federation, we should not be putting politicians at the helm of affairs. Thank you.
All right, thank you, Raji. Let me ask both of you. Let me start with Jimmy. Justin Madugo, should stay or go?
If you asked me last week, I would say he should stay. But I think the problem got him somewhat ensconced in danger from the onset. The manner of preparations already placed him in a very, very dangerous
Which was not his fault?
It wasn't his fault. I mean, the NFF had it to do to ensure that they prepared him. They had several camps, just like Sisi did say. You know, look at what Cameroon did. Look at what Malawi had been able to do over time. But if you press the panic button and say Madugu should go, the next coach that is going to come in, are you going to give? Are you going to change? Are you going to change the environment? Are you going to make sure the environment is not toxic? Because there was a lot of toxicity within the sector.
But the same question. He is the defending. He won it. He was the defending champion. He's no longer the defending champion. So played up to the final and did well. He's been in the system probably since 2012 or so. Yeah. He's been part of the system. Yeah. And then he's risen up there. Does it need support staff? Like the sister saying, we are still having the same goalkeeper trainer was there, and whatever it is, and the same talking, the same thing, the same people that learn from one, they're all together, and that is the thing. Do we need a system where, you know, people who will come into our system that I need this information, we press it, I need it, we see it, I need whatever it is, or you just bring it, let them go and run around 25 times and do press up 15 times and get over there and then go to take them to go and play it.
Yeah, Sisi made mention of something that said you had more non-technical staff.
Exactly.
More of the that has become a national problem here, even in our research institute.
Okay, let us take Namdi. Namdi is from Imo. Hello, Namdi. Hello, Namdi.
Hello.
Namdi. Yeah, go on.
Yes, my contribution. Good afternoon.
Good afternoon, Namdi.
What my contribution is about the falling standard of our national team.
Okay.
I want to borrow a little from the last speaker. Hello?
Yeah, go on.
So what the last speaker just said was the fact the wrong people are being put in at the right place. Yes, do you know that our national team, the wrong people have been there. We are not going forward. We are moving backwards. You can check 1994. Nigeria was number 5 in football nation in the world. But now, where are we? We are nowhere. Look at our national teams, they have not qualified.
So, Namde, what do we do? Are you there? Okay, I think Namde is there, but we're not hearing him. We are going.
Yeah. What?
We tired.
No. We played 5 matches and barely won 2, which is 40%. So
we lost 3.
A failed tournament, and for Madugu, that is not good
like
enough.
It's a no.
Again, if you're also content with having more of a secretary, team, welfare coordinator
around you
than video analyst, than your nutritionist, than your sports. Do you understand?
It has to do with the development and value to the player.
Because he's a national team coach, not our 5 team coach. So he needs to go if he can't demand what he needs to.
If he can't demand, all right.
I think he should be given the right support, because if you go the way some of these critics have gone, they want Randy Waldron back. I personally am against that because we need to continue to develop the capacity of our local
We
coaches.
have to do that. We have to develop
Jimmy,
our
the
capacity.
Dutch went to Spain. I bet let's get the best coach.
Okay, we'll be back on Sunday. And I tell you, I thought, yes, I've not missed that. Until we come back on Sunday, and as we say, God bless Nigeria, congratulations to the people of Osun. Sports is what we are going to ask you guys to do. That is our business. God bless Nigeria.